Hey, we're gonna do some visualization right now, so close your eyes and actually close your eyes or else this video doesn't bring you any value. I want you to imagine your 6-year-old self, the old you that's at the end of your life, and you're sitting down on a couch and you have your grandchildren right in front of you, 3, 4 grandchildren all looking up at you, and they're asking you, Grandpa, Grandma, tell us a story. Tell us about your childhood. It must have been so interesting. And as they're all looking up at you, big-eyed, ready for you to tell them an amazing story, you have to sit there and think, because for some reason you can't really recall any amazing stories from your childhood. The memories that you do recall aren't really story worthy, and so you're sitting there still and you're thinking and you're thinking, and your grandkids are like, come on, tell us a story, and you don't really have any stories to tell. I mean, we went through some crazy stuff, right? Quarantine, lockdown, but we got no experiences out of it. After being stuck inside so long, doing nothing, just scrolling and playing video games, when you grow up, you're not going to tell your kids, oh yeah, when I was younger, I just went on my phone a lot and I played video games. That's the story, kids. That's what I did with my life. You would never tell them that. If you went to your parents right now, your mom, your dad, and especially your grandparents, and you asked them, what are some stories you can tell me? What are some stories from your childhood? What crazy stuff went down when you were a kid? And they probably, one, would be really happy that you're asking them, but they would just light up and start telling you about some story from when they were a little kid, about how they snuck out at night and got caught, about how they did this thing and met this person. And I feel like our generation in specific, teenagers right now, we aren't really experiencing life. I think many of us are just floaters. I think part of it has been quarantine. Part of it is the way that we've been raised with technology, our reliance on it. We just don't have those childhood stories that our parents do of them biking around their neighborhoods and going to stores and doing what they wanted, because we've been inside so much more. We stay inside our rooms in our houses almost all the time. And so if you were to ask some other teenager what their most interesting story that has ever happened to them in their entire life, the most interesting experience they've ever had, it probably wouldn't be that interesting to you, because most people aren't really going on adventures anymore, doing cool stuff. We're not meeting as many people, we're not having as many experiences. And you right now might be thinking that you're different, that you are making experiences, that you're on self-improvement, and you do all the good habits, and you're going somewhere in life. But this applies to everyone. Every single teenager is just inside all day. It doesn't matter if you're inside meditating, or if you're inside playing video games, or if you're inside scrolling, or you're inside working on your business. You're still in your room, sitting on your chair, doing absolutely nothing, not really making experiences. If you're in your room and you're scrolling, it's the exact same thing being in your room meditating. Obviously, it's not the same thing that you're doing, but you're still in your room. You're not making experiences. You're not meeting new people. We're all in the same boat here. We just aren't really living life anymore. We're being lived. We're distracting ourselves from life. We're distracting ourselves from experiences. We're staying in our room all day. We're not going outside, going on adventures, doing crazy shit, meeting up with friends, meeting new people. I was talking about this with one of my classmates today. He was saying how it seems like so many older people will say that high school was such an amazing time for them, that it was just like this dream moment in their life, that they made so many new friends, they had a bunch of experiences. But it kind of feels like now it's the opposite with our generation. Everyone's saying high school fucking sucks. We're grinding away for college, everyone's on their phones, and it doesn't feel like the stories that our parents tell us. I think we're at a point where most people feel stuck. Most people are staying inside all day. Most people don't have this thriving social life in high school. But that doesn't mean that's just how it is, that you should give in, that you should give up. Oh, whatever. This is just how life is like. This is just a different time that we're in. I'm never gonna be that social. I'm never gonna have these nice experiences like my grandparents did. I'm never gonna go on adventures. I'm never gonna get a girlfriend. I'm never gonna do this, that. We can't experience life. We just have to force ourselves onto that experience. And you know why we have to do this? It's because we've been conditioned for so long to be reliant on escapism, on escaping into another world, another distraction. Even if that is the world of self-improvement, you're still isolating yourself, escaping into a different world and not interacting with the world you're actually in. And when you think back to when you were younger, you had so many more experiences. You were so much more naturally curious, and that just slowly died off. Everything used to feel so much more fluid when you were younger. People didn't care about the bullshit that they do now. Nobody was scrolling. Everyone was just in school, having fun, playing with each other. You'd go home. You wouldn't have homework. You just do whatever you wanted. You were creative. You actually had real experiences. You went out with your family. You connected with people. But you cannot let yourself be isolated. You cannot let yourself float through life. You have to grab life by the fucking balls, bro. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of making excuses because of outside things, because of conditions that I'm in. You probably like to blame everything, your situation, on your circumstances, on the conditions that are around you. I hate having the mindset of, I can't do this, I can't be this type of person, because, oh, my school, the people in my school, they're just not this type of way. They don't understand me. It's good that you're on self-improvement. It's good that I'm on self-improvement. We're trying to learn about all these things, do these different things, improve in areas like health and fitness. But that doesn't mean that we are allowed to just go on our computer all day. not interact with other people, have experiences? I think the answer to this is you have to stop making excuses. I keep making excuses about why I can't be this type of person, that things just are a certain way, that high school is a certain way, that people at high school are a certain way, and telling myself these things, having this mindset, is not benefiting me. And you probably blame your problems on everything else other than yourself. That's what I do sometimes. I'll say, oh, it's because of this that I can't be this type of person. It's because people at my school are like this that I can't have more friends. You limit yourself because you're scared to accept the truth, the reality, the fact that it's on you. It doesn't matter that things are a certain way. It doesn't matter that you were raised in a generation, in a society now that all has a bunch of technology, that we're distracted all the time. None of that matters. You have to find a way to make it work for yourself and actually go out and live life. You have to be the one to take initiative. No one's gonna invite you to do cool shit. Nobody is gonna ask you to go on an adventure. You have to do this with other people. You have to create the experiences. You have to push yourself to go meet new people and go out of your comfort zones. Do things that you haven't done before, because that's what's gonna lead to the real experiences in life. The stories that you're gonna tell your future children. Because I don't wanna grow up and tell my kids that all I did when I was 16, 17 was I was on self-improvement and I did this and that. And you don't want to have to tell your kids that I scrolled my life away and I played video games all day. You want to actually tell your kids some interesting stories. Oh, I met this person, I was friends with this person, and we did this thing. Oh yeah, we climbed this mountain when I was really young and it was crazy and this shit happened and you just have to have those type of experiences, because those are the stories, those are the things that you remember, that you cherish for your entire life. You don't cherish the fact that you meditated every day. Yes, you're grateful for it. Yes, you're glad that you do it. You don't cherish the fact, though, that you stayed in your room and worked on your business all day, because that isn't a memory. That's just a thing that you did every single day. You worked and you worked and you worked, and that's good, that's great, but that's not something you look back on with nostalgia. It's not a story you can tell. It's not an experience that you had in your life. We're at a time where it's so easy to let yourself get complacent and not really take action or do anything that is going to turn into real memories. You can kind of live this autopilot day-to-day life. You could constantly distract yourself, isolate yourself, go into different worlds, or you could actually live your life. There is no excuse. You should have a thriving social life. You should have a bunch of friends that you can talk to. You should have deep conversations every day. You should talk to people and be genuinely a nice person, a good person, be interested in other people. You should plan things, invite people to stuff, actually go on adventures, like invite people to adventures that they will remember for their entire life. Like my brother, one time he went out on his birthday with all of his friends and they went out like into the hills and it was raining that day and it got super muddy and like their car got stuck and all this crazy shit happened, and I know he will remember that for the rest of his life. You have to start going on journeys, doing some crazy stuff, taking risks, or else you aren't really growing. You could do everything technically right all the time, do all the good habits, you do the deep breath work, you do the cold plunges, you do the meditation, but at the end of the day, you're still in your room all day, sitting there like the person who's playing video games, like the person who's scrolling all day. And if you are either of those people, you have to actually force yourself, force the experiences onto yourself, force the experiences into your life. And this takes working on yourself socially, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, meeting new people, asking people to do things. It takes you to initiate the experiences, to create them for you and other people, for you to do something that no one else is doing. Go travel the world, go to a different country for a year, learn what it's like to be there, for you to go move out of the house and do some crazy stuff, go to the city and start working out with some of the biggest bodybuilders in the world, trying to become the next Mr. Olympia. You need to start going on journeys, having missions, having adventures, experiences, because that's what you're going to remember in this life. That is the stories you're going to tell, what you're going to recall to your grandchildren when you're 70 years old. Because even after 40, 50 years, you are still going to remember the crazy adventures that you went on. You need to force yourself to go on those adventures and to experience life, because your life is not just in your house or in your room or on your computer or on your phone. That's a completely different world. That's a distraction from reality, from what you should really be focusing on. Yes, still do the good habits and make progress in the things that you care about, but there should be some like energy and flavor to your life every single day, because it's not just about the habits, bro, and it's not just about self-improvement. It's actually making memorable moments, experiences, having these wonderful adventures alongside your self-improvement, intertwined with it. Because a life without experiences, without stories to tell, without memories that you look back on and cherish, if you don't have any of that, it's not a life worth living. And even if you do end up achieving this success, this material success, it won't matter if you have no memories to accompany it, no experiences that go along with it, that you did some crazy stuff to get there. Because at the end of your life, when you're on your deathbed, do you really want people to remember you for being the type of person that made a lot of money, that was a great businessman? Do you want to be the type of person that was perfect on their self-improvement and did all the habits every single day? Do you want to be remembered as the type of person that just scrolled all the time, was always absent, was never present, and always distracted by video games or the next best thing? You do not want to be remembered as any of those things. And that's not what people are going to talk about when they're with you, when you're dying. That's not what people are going to talk about at your funeral. You know what they're actually going to do? They're going to tell stories. Stories about how when they were with you, you were this type of person. You were always kind and loving, and you guys did crazy stuff together, crazy fun stuff. You go on trips and do things. Stories about how you were such an amazing father, an amazing friend, an amazing husband. They're going to be telling stories about the things that you did with other people, for other people. And what you are going to be thinking about on your deathbed is hopefully not that you regret not experiencing more in life, not doing that thing that you always wanted to do, not meeting those people that you always wanted to meet, and saying the things that you really did want to say but didn't. You do not want to regret not doing things in life. And I really do think if you get to the end of your life and you haven't really experienced it, you're going to regret that. You're going to feel like something is just missing, like something is just not complete, something is not full in your life. What you are really going to remember is the memories. You're thinking back through your entire life on your deathbed, smiling, remembering when you did this and did that and had this experience and achieved this thing and went on this crazy journey and went on this adventure and you moved to this country. Go outside, bro. Actually do things, experience life. This is something that I need to work on so much. I'm not having enough experiences right now, going on enough journeys. You have to initiate these things for yourself because no one's going to do it for you. The world's not going to do it for you. Do not complain or blame anything else or say, oh, things just aren't in my favor. This is just how the world is. Because it's not. You can change that. You can actually do something about it and make sure that you experience life the way that you want to experience it. Do not be a floater. Do not escape into different worlds. Actually take this life exactly where you want to take it. Do everything you want to do. Everything that you think in your mind and you overthink and you second guess and you tell yourself, what will other people think of me? Just do it. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it and you aren't going to experience the life in the way that you really wanted to. Go out there, actually take action, get shit done. I know you will. Never stop improving. You'll be grateful for it later.